Now let's say you don't have any real diversity in your plants yet, your perennial plants, but you start incorporating more this year. While the ecosystem starts to round out, we can bring in our natural pesticides, right, to deal with our serious pest pressure. We've got our Jadam suite of natural pesticides always ready to use in case we need it. Because again, our garden is not a 100% natural environment. It's a garden. And even most of it at this point is going to be a market garden for us to sell flowers commercially. All that said, a natural garden is a place where harsh chemicals are ideally never used. Synthetic fertilizers are used very sparingly, and anything that is brought in ideally is done so with the intent of minimally disturbing the microecosystem. One more thing that I'll add that we really need to be thinking about in terms of removing is the amount of turf grass in your growing space. And I've come down hard on this in the past, and I recognize that there are big feelings out there about it. There's a lot of nuance to this discussion. My reasoning for encouraging you to decrease the amount of area strictly devoted to turf grass lawn is because it isn't quite enough of a net positive to justify the resources needed to keep it alive. In other words, lawns don't really feed anyone, especially when it's a monocrop single variety of grass with no other ground cover plants integrated, no flowers sprinkled throughout, and constantly cut to golf fairway length. Pollinators can't really use it. You certainly can't eat it. And whereas it does provide a space to stand with your bare feet, to keep it green, you're probably going to have to fertilize it pretty intensely. And depending on where you live, you're definitely going to need to water it. Now, grass is a great compost ingredient, right? It's a source of nitrogen for that. But if you're adding nitrogen to fertilize it and then cutting it to compost it, personally, I'd rather just grow food or flowers in that space, which is what we did for our lawn back here, and I have no regrets.